Alright, welcome back to Star Ocean Anamnesis JP. So I just thought to myself, I always do update videos for Star Ocean Global, but I might as well do them for JP as well, and JP just got the second part of the Tales of collab, so you know what? This is probably the best time to get started, so let's take a look at it. So first of all, we have the Maze of Curses revival. It's just a normal Maze of Curses, should be very easy to do with all the characters that JP has at its disposal. And then we have another revival event. I think the title says Love That Goes Beyond the Stars, but I'm not too sure about that. Regardless, this is an event that we'll get in the future in Global. It introduces Black Commander Albel and Opera Vectra. I think we'll get this one after summer, like somewhere around that time. Regardless, it's got two currencies, silver and gold. Gold is the higher one. You can exchange them both in the shop. The event weapons. So the first one is for Opera, increases one of her skills damage by 20%, increases HP by 10%, and lightning and dark damage by 10%. If I read that correctly, doesn't seem too bad. So I think you can just hold on to that. And then the greatsword, that one's made for Albel. And that increases damage though to demons by 10%, and 100 hits or higher gives a 5% HP recovery every 3 seconds. Again, that doesn't seem too bad, but then again, Durandal is also in the coin shop, so you know, there is that. Then the accessories, so I think the first one is the black linen battle sash, or red linen battle sash, there we go. So when the hit count is at 100 hits or more, it gives you a 20% anti-flinch, and at 150 hits or more gives you an increased critical chance by 15%. That doesn't seem too bad, although I'm not really aware of what all of the accessories are in JP, so I can't really say how good that is, but it does seem pretty good. The anti-flinch especially. The criticals, you can just kind of ignore that, but the anti-flinch is good. And then the FC goggles, now give me just 1 second. Reduces AP cost by 5% when you are standing at long range, and it gives you repel +1. So I don't really know about this, because you could easily run another AP reduction accessory that does more than just give you repel +1, and repel +1 doesn't really help much anyway, so I wouldn't really use that. But the boss is a demon boss, and it's weak to lightning, so that should be pretty simple. And then we have another revival event, and this one actually looks a little familiar, because look at this, it's Seas and Crimson Fia, amazing. So with this I can actually see what we're getting next week in Global, so of course another currency with another shop that has another limit breaker, hopefully. And another accessory, so let's look at the accessory. Let's see, when hit count is at above 100 hits or more, AP cost reduction by 10%, and when at 100% HP, rush combo damage plus 10%, so that actually seems very good. 100 hits isn't really that hard to get, and 10% AP cost reduction is very high, so that's very cool. And of course, rush combo damage plus 10%, that's also really good, especially for us in Global, so keep an eye out for that one. And then the boss, same thing, insect boss, weak to ice, so should be very easy. And then the titles, I think the 4-minute one is Astral Knight, and the 2-minute one is Star of Shining Chivalry. Wait, no, Chivalry Shining Star, I think that's what it is. Or Shining Star of Chivalry, something like that. Regardless, that's it for this. And then we have the actual event, the Tales of the Rays event. I think the title of this is Ocean of Stars, Phantasm Music, Dreams Don't End. That's my translation of it. That is complete fact, and take that to the bank. Regardless, Arche and Chester got introduced, as well as this new currency right here, which you can exchange in the shop. And for all the global players, you can see this cake, this piece of cake here at the bottom. That is an item that you can use to increase affection for your character, which is a system that we'll get later, so you can buy a ton of that in shop. Regardless, for the event weapons, the orb is made for Arche, which increases the damage of her Thunderblade by 20%, gives her anti-flinch casting, and increases rush combo damage by 20% when her HP is sitting at 100%. So this actually seems like a decent orb, especially because it's free, and that is mostly because of the rush combo damage, which a lot of characters can use that. The anti-flinch casting also seems very good for Arche, because she can actually move while she's casting, so you can do some fun stuff with that, I imagine. And then we have the bow, which is made for Chester. Now give me 1 second. Increases damage of Toryu by 20%, increases hit by 10%, that's interesting, and increases critical damage by 30% when the skill chain is at 3 or more. So again, this one seems kind of unique because of the hit increase. In fact, I think it is unique, the only bow that increases hit. So you might find a use for that someday. I'm not really sure about that, but there is a fireball in the coin shop, so you could transmute it, but again, I would hang on to it because it is unique. So aside from that, we have the new accessory, which again, I need to look that up because I'm a complete moron. Let's see, it looks kind of cute. It's a Chester mascot. Oh, it absorbs 5% of damage dealt by regular attacks when you're standing at long range, and reduces int and attack damage taken by 10% when you're standing at long range. So seems like it's a defensive accessory. And the long range lifesteal seems kind of good, but overall I think we do have better accessories, especially the more offensive ones. But then again, this does seem like it could come in handy at some point. I'm not really sure. So we have Daos. Oh, Shadow Daos, actually. He's a god type enemy who is weak to ice and lightning. Oh, that seems kind of terrifying. I'll still have to give that a try. But I think that pretty much does it for this. Of course, yeah, event achievement, shouldn't forget about those. I think they're holding out on us with that freaking 4-star ticket, man. Damn it. And those stamps. There's only one stamp. That's not good. Oh, and I just noticed this. There is a daily achievement with this event. For collecting 700 orange gummies, you can get 3 small limit breakers every single day. And another interesting thing is that Sarah finally got her awakening. So, it looks like a pretty big one, so let's go over it, shall we? So, her first talent increases AP recovery speed by 30% or 150% for every ally standing at long range, I think. Yep. And then her second talent, 5% HP recovery every 5 seconds for every ally, and for every long-range weapon ally, a 10% HP recovery every 3 seconds. Third talent gives poison, paralysis, and silence nullification for 120 seconds after the fight starts, and reduces her own cast times by 100%. She also gets a 95-10 guts for herself, and for every ally standing at long range, a 95-10 guts as well. Then 15% damage reduction, and for everybody whose HP is at above 50%, they get a 30% damage reduction. And she also gets a 100% damage nullification during dodging, or during the dash, for 0.5 seconds. And then her last talent increases her stats by a lot, especially her HP, 40%. That's quite a bit. And of course, her battle skills got upgraded as well, and she gained a new one, Magnum Tornado AF, which is a very powerful attack that has kind of an angel feather effect built into it. It increases every stat by 30% for 10 seconds. And then her Rush has a 4000% multiplier, and as an extra effect, it now nullifies every status ailment as well. So Sarah actually seems very similar to Awakened Millie, because she's got that passive HP regen, the guts, but unlike Millie, she has that angel feather as well. So she seems more like a cross between Millie and Aurelia, so she seems like she'd be very good in a party that is mostly AI controlled. So just give her to the AI to play, toss her into whatever party, and hopefully people don't die because of her now, because she's a pretty good healer, but she still uses a staff, so that's kind of clunky. But she does have that 100% cast time reduction, which should make her speed up a bit. But overall, she seems kind of decent. And of course, in celebration of the Awakening, we have this banner right here, which has increased odds for Fia, Fiore, and Sarah, as you can see right there. And of course, with every single pull that you do, you gain this Awakening coin, which you can exchange in a shop for some Gamma Awakening chips. So I guess you could do that if you want some more Awakening chips. But now, let's look at the new characters. So first, we have Arche. She increases int by 20% or 40% when HP is sitting at 100% for all allies. And she also converts 50% of int to attack for all attackers, sharpshooters, and defenders. So similar to Lazard. Then her second talent, that allows her to move at 90% speed while she is casting, which is I think unique to her right now, so that's pretty cool. And I'm not sure what the other part means that's after that, so I'll get back to that later. Her third talent increases int damage dealt by 50% when her HP is sitting at 100%, and it also gives all of her attacks the Earth element when she uses one of her Earth element spells. And then her last talent increases int by 20% and HP by 10%, and increases movement speed by 30%. And her Rush is Indignation with a 5000 int multiplier, and it increases elemental damage for the entire party by 80% for 20 seconds. Then she's got 2 Earth element spells and 2 Lightning element spells. Seems pretty cool, some high multipliers there, very nice. And then her Assist skill also increases elemental damage by 80% for 20 seconds when it's at level 2 at least. And she also has a 3300 int stat, which is decent. So, With my limited knowledge of the JP meta, I don't really want to say anything about her because I'm probably going to be wrong, but I will say, she can move while she's casting, which sounds like it could be a very interesting mechanic. It sounds like something that casters have been lacking for a while, so you can reposition while you're attacking. That seems incredibly good. And then I'm not really sure how good her actual damage output would be, but overall she doesn't seem too bad in my eyes, and you know, plus it's Arche, you might as well pull for her. And then we have Chester. He increases damage dealt by 35% or 75% when HP is sitting at 100% or more. At skill chain 3 or higher, he reduces AP cost by 40%, and at skill chain 4 or more, he reduces it by 50%. He also increases AP recovery when you're moving by 100, when you're sitting at 100% HP. At skill chain 3 or more, he increases critical hit chance by 30%. And his last talent reduces his own AP cost when he's evading by 50%, and increases the speed and distance that his evasion can cover by 100%, and he can also air dodge. And his rush has a 4500% multiplier, and it recovers everybody's HP by 15% every 3 seconds for 20 seconds, and his assist skill does the exact same thing, and you can see that his attacks have a lightning element, he's got an earth element attack, and the other ones are just powerful. And again, I can't really say anything about him because, you know, I don't know the meta, but I will say that he does look kind of interesting to me because he has that second talent which reduces AP cost by 40% or 50% at the those skill chains in particular. That seems like it could be incredibly good for characters like Winter Fidel, I think, and I think it also works for Soul Bad Guy. I'm not really sure what his talents are in particular, but I think it could work for him, so you could chain some very good combos together with a lot of different characters because of this talent in particular. And then, you know, he's got healing on his rush as well, and that huge 75% damage increase. So overall, I would say that he's also not too bad. Out of these two, though, I would say that Chester is probably the better one because he's got the better utility, and Arche she doesn't really seem that special to me, but they are the collaboration characters, so, you know, of course they are limited. So I would say go for it if you want to pull for them. Alright, I think that's everything for the update. So like I said, I am going to pull on this banner, and I'll probably do that tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. But I think that's everything, so I guess I'll see you all next time. Peace!